Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
What's going on, people? This is Influence, and I'm back with another video. Today we got Magic Square's Shovel Master and Roller Master, which of course we know is Scrapper and Mixmaster. Just a note, their color is showing up a little bit brighter on my camera. I try to get a little bit better as far as the white balance. I guess that's a little better. How they should look. Yeah, so these guys are pretty great. I like them. And just off the back, so we'll get into the box. Just got their faces, nothing particular. Alt modes, that's it. Instructions are instructions. So Scrapper comes with another head, separate head, and I'll show it side by side. And then of course he has the card, tech specs. Not into the cards too much. And Mixmaster comes with a little less, little more cartoon type of barrel that you can just put in the back. And he has his cards, of course. Also, they come with the guns. You can see they stay in their hands very well. Nothing spectacular. Just normal sculpt. It's kind of small. Just a normal sculpted gun. Nothing crazy. And it's just a peg. We'll take that out for now. Barrel is just easy. Just take this out. And then you put the other barrel in. This is a little bit bigger than this hole right here. So it takes a little bit of doing, but you can get it done. There we go. And then you have that low profile type. But just for transformation's sake, and that's, you know, say you want him in robot mode, he looks a little more cartoon accurate, has the mass shifting going on. But I just put this in for transformation just to show you can transform it with the big barrel in. And the big barrel is better, more suited for vehicle mode. Now with his extra accessory, he actually gets his gun. It's a little bit different, a little bit bigger. Not the greatest sculpt, but I do like this sculpt better than the other sculpt. Long. Then his head. And I'll show. Here's his head side by side. Get a more protruded. The helmet's different. Let me get my finger out the way. You can see that the helmet's different and the face mask is different, a little bit thinner at the top. And that's pretty much it. You see his face, of course. Mixmaster's face, of course. I think their head sculpts are done well. And that's what it is. So we'll get some comparisons going. Now, of course, I'm going to transform these back to robot. Back to robot. I'm going to transform them to alt mode, then back to robot. So if you're wondering, I should have chapters in the description. Let's get some comparisons going on. He does, just a note, his feet are loose, but you can move, you can get the toe down and move this out a little bit to help with standing. And with that, he has no problem standing. Let me just show, just for fun. He doesn't stand up well. These are the upscaled versions of DX9 Old Devastator. They're Old Devastator. So that, just a comparison, they're pretty much the same size as the upscaled DX9 old version. They call these Legends Plus now. They're the McFans toys. You got Optimus. You got Shockwave and Megatron. And that's New Age. The rest is Magic Square. Well, McFan's Toys, these two, Magic Square. So you can see what they're looking like. So articulation for Scrapper. Get his arms all the way around. His head goes all the way around. He can go down about that much, up about that much. The slightest side to side. Arms go up, but you can like kind of unhook this and kind of move it in just to give it a little bit more, but that's not a real articulation point. You know, that's the peg zone right there, but that's the little cheat you could get if wanted. Get double jointed elbow, so that's great. Nothing to complain about there. Get the arms that spin, no hands motion, of course. You got the little, my fingers are making it go out of focus because these guys are, well, they're not super little, but you know, the little guys, it's hard to get close to the camera. You got all this molded detail. I love the molded detail. The paint, people had an issue with the paint. And in the beginning, like I said, it was a little bit more brighter, but this is mainly, I think this is almost true. It's a little bit duller in person to me than it's coming out on camera, but it's closer to what it is than in the very beginning of my video. So yeah, you got these little accents. This yellow looks pretty good. It looks done well. Yeah, and I'll show the 360 in a minute, but as far as the rest of the articulation, you get the splits. You got the skirt that goes up all on one. I know people don't like that. You get the hurdles. But that's really, I mean, is what it is. You get double jointed knees for the full run. You get the swivel up here. And you get toe tilt, like the front of the toe. You can move the toe out a little bit farther or back a little bit, and the heel spur, you get movement there. And these move as well, just for purposes. You can kind of move it back if you don't like it right on the leg and transformation, but yeah, it's something you can do. They don't peg in that great on either mode, so that could be a gripe. Mixmaster, pretty much the same for him. I don't know if I did waist. You do got waist swivel on Scrapper. So Mixmaster, you can get his head around. It's in that box. But the good thing is you can extend this. This is for transformation really, but you can move it out like this and then get his head, spin his head around. His head goes down about that much, up that much. If this is back, this like this, you can still get a little bit. And no side, the side really. Get extended arms all the way around. These do go like this. Again, you can get another, it's like another cheat. It's like a butterfly if you want. It's not real though. I wouldn't give it to him as a butterfly. Double jointed elbows, but you don't get the full run because of the way this is designed. Barrel moves. It's tight, but it does move. It's supposed to get on there really. Came off. Bicep swivel. Hand moves around. Does go down and up, but it's due to transformation really. Skirts on the side go up. And you can get about that much because of these little side pieces. That's mainly for transformation. Up that much. You can get the hurdles again. They both track stars, so you can move this up or down. It's mainly for transformation. Get the double jointed knees. and you get these feet. These feet are loose. Again, I said that in the beginning. And you can move this like this, and you get the toe tilt, toe up, and you get a good rocker. It's mainly, it's mainly for transformation, but it's there. They double up. So yeah, that's about it. And I don't know if I showed the rocker over here. You do get the rocker here, like that, with the toe tilt. I did show the toe tilt and this. But you can get a rocker. So here's the 360 of both. Back is pretty clean. Has a lot of panel lines because there's a lot of stuff going on back there. Again, you see the details. They got a lot of molded details. Paint is not a lot of paint on there, but where they have paint, you know, it's a little bit of paint, but I think it's enough. Line work is good. I think they're great looking. I like the way they look. Now let's get into transformation. I'll do Mixmaster first. He's pretty involved. They both are. And transformation is probably going to look way more complicated on video than it is, just because of the nature of it. I mean, most of the time it does, but it's hard behind the camera to really show what is going on. So I like to get all this stuff out the way. You can move this up. Do this like this, just to get this out the way. Like, you ain't really got to worry about it right now. And you can move these out. You're supposed to move this up, but I find that it comes out without moving it up. But yeah, you should move that up and then pull it out. You can do this first if you want. Move these up, but you don't have to. Get these out like this. Move these in. This is all like prep work, so it's not a complicated part. The legs are pretty complicated. Move that in like that. Get this out. You want to pull this down. Move this about. This flips out. Move this down. Pull this down again. Flip this out. Turn it around. Just leave it like that for now. You can move his head around if you want, so you don't have visible head. Doesn't really matter, but then you got a visible ball joint if you do that. So it's got it like that. Now what you want to do is move this around here and tab it in right there. Now this is going to slide, pull out and tab in there, but you can do that. You can leave that like that for now, so you don't do it yet. Move these down like this. Move these down like this. Bring the arms in, and it's going to peg in right there. You see that little hole right there? So you move this over. Folds, the arms fold all the way in, and then you can peg this in there like this. That's it. Then do the same thing over here. Move the arms all the way over. Make sure they're straight. You see this right here, this gap? It should be like that. Move them in, peg them in there. Should start looking like that. You can move this up, but it'll fall down while you're manipulating. It's supposed to be like that. It's part of the bumper, the exhaust. Then you move these up, peg them right here. Do the same here. You got the top done. Top's pretty much simple. Then you want to move this waist all the way around. Now open this up like that, and move this down. This little piece right here, pegs in there. You want to move that down so you can have it where it needs to be. Move these out just for now. Just doing some prep work, because these are going to eventually peg in over here with those notches, but not yet. Move that down. You can move this out and peg it here. And now this waist won't move at all. Now for this mess, I'm gonna keep it like that. Pull this down like this, pull it out like that. Don't worry about it right this second, because then you're gonna move this out. It's on a slider that goes out like that. You see that slider right there? Then you're gonna be able to get all this stuff out. Now it's pretty, you see all this? I'm gonna move this like out like that. Then this little flip out, you're just creating the window, the actual cab. Move this out, move this window up. Then now this, you moved out here, you want to flip it over, because then it's going to end up flipping around, but you can't do it yet. Now all of this, what I do, I don't think the directions tell you, but I move this up to where it's supposed to be and peg it on, just so I can keep myself oriented, because it's a lot of stuff in here. And this goes like kind of up in here like this. So you got that, and you got to move this up like this. And you see that those two tabs. It gets to be a lot, because then you got to move that like that, and you start to see it, but it's hard to explain. Again, I try to peg this in just to keep myself oriented. It's a peg right there. There we go. So then you're getting it like this, and you want all this stuff, it has to look like a truck. And this should be like this, and you push this up, because then it's going to fold around and fold up under here. And then all should come together. It's the truck front. Then you can push this together. When you do that, there's a peg that goes into this thigh right here. There's a peg hole right there that all should line up. And you got to worry about all of that. And then there's these peg places. So there's the 1/2. Now this gets a little tricky, because you can't do everything that you did over here. Because if you peg this in right now, then it's going to be hard to maneuver. So you just got to try to get it as best as possible. Flip this out. Try to show it a little bit better. Flip that to get it out the way. Pull this again on a slider. It may come out. You don't have to worry, because it's going to break. It's like breaking apart anyway. So just move it as far as you can. I kind of wish that slider was farther, but it's enough. Just splitting hairs. And you move this up, get this out. Get this out here like this. And you move this, move this. Again, up here like this. Don't forget, I just did, but don't forget to move this in. So you orient it like this. Just got disoriented again. So you can't move this in yet because you gotta flip this up for one. Make sure it's right. And then get this thigh correct. And all this stuff right here has to move. Has to be moved. Push that down and then move this around here. Make sure this is down more like that, and then you can kind of get it together. So then you can move this around like you're supposed to. Push that up, then move this up here. So then by that time you should be able to move this down, get that out the way. It starts looking okay. Get this where you need it to be. Doesn't help that some of the tabs are like bigger than they should be. So then you try to get this right in the right spot. There we go. There we go. Push this down. There we go. It should start to come together. This came untabbed. This again extends and tabs in to there, to there. And here we go. Got Mixmaster. Again, the barrel moves, has plastic tires, but they feel pretty good. This is the same plastic that Magic Square uses, the new plastic. I know people didn't like their plastic before and they like kind of changed up, switched up. So that's what this is. So yeah, it looks like the part. I'm not gonna put it on the spinner just because it's so small and it's easy to talk about. We can hold it, got some molding details. Got the purple windows. Yeah, got the windshield wipers. Transformation is complicated, but it feels good. It's fun, I should say. It's not overly complicated where it's not fun, and it's even better when you're not on camera. So now let's get him into alt mode. I can't remember if he turned his head around. I think you do turn his head around. You pull this out here like this. Get his arms together. His arms are pretty cool because you pull this up and then his hands flip around. And then you have this little thing right there. I don't know what it is, but it just adds a little accent to it. Again, you can just move that to get this out and flip his hands around and push it back in like that. Then you want to get this out like this, out like that. Come around here, pull the tires out, just get them out the way. Pull the tires out, just get them out the way. These you can move up, the waist skirts, just move them up like that. So now you want to move this like accordion it up and push it in like that, because then his hands are going to peg in over here like that. Then these tires will peg in right there. Get the other side up, peg it in there, pull it down, peg these in there, that peg. So you have to move it like that and then peg it in. Then the tires you can peg in. Peg that in. There you go. Flip this. This pegs right there. keeps all that together right there. And then you can move this back. Well, actually, you can move this up like this before you move this back down. Then you move this back down, and this pegs up here. Can't really see it because it pegs in inner more so, but you see those pegs right there. And you can move it down. They are kind of tight, so magic square fashion. That's right. Because then you move this down. Forgot. So it's pretty complicated. There's a lot of steps to it, but like I said, once you were doing it, you like forget about it. It's not that hard. So now we come to the legs. And you wanna let's do one at a time. Move that out like that. Get that like this. Now with this, I'll usually push it through here to open up that little piece right there. Open that up, and you can move all this around. First, you want to move it up because you have to spin this 360. This is tight, a little tight joint. Let me get a little tight joint so you can move it enough to move this like this, and then move it back until this flat. Put that down. This flap is down here like this, and then this can be up here. Then you move this down. Should all line up. Then this, I'm gonna pull this out, unfold. It's another little tab right here that you want to unfold. Kind of difficult. I don't know what that is. So you unfold it, and then you move this up like this. This runs around here and clips onto here. If you can see that, just like that. And we'll leave this like this for now. Then you want to do this. So again, unfold, get this little piece out. There we go. Put that up. This one's a little even loose. Move it around. Put this in here. Flip this down. Then flip this down. Now for this, you can move this out like that. This little piece of on the end. Flip that up. Move this around. It also tabs in right there as well. I forgot that tab on that side. So when you move it down, you want to get it lined up so it tabs in there. So all this right here tabs in, and then this tabs in as well. Right. Down. You want this to be like this, so now you just flip this over. Now here, this tab right here is going to tab in right there. These and this will come out and come down and tab in right there. Now it's hard to get because you have to square this up as best as possible. Then you get it there like that. If this is squared up well, Then you can bring this down and it'll tab in fine, or it should. Right there where it doesn't move. Again, on this side, you just have to get it squared up well, which is always easier said than done. Make sure you don't mess with all this stuff. There we go. See how that's not squared up? You can just push it in and it squares it up kind of, but then you can move this down here. Goes in. That's still not the greatest, but then you want to move this canopy. Now this canopy is the only thing that it just sits here. Doesn't really do anything. Like it doesn't lock or anything, I don't think. At least I haven't seen it. It just like kind of sits there and it's fine. Just sits there like that. So, and here you go. And as you can see, it rolls well. Oh, I didn't get it quite tabbed in as well as I could have, but you saw it still was rolling well. This moves like that. And that's it. See, scrapper, canopy can move. You can get a little straighter. You can see that. These tires are like, they feel rubbery, but they're more plastic. They don't feel crazy. Like they feel more like, almost like rubber. Then you got that. You see his head's gone. No head visible. Yeah, the back, it's pretty clean. Got some molding details. But yeah, all in all, I think I like them. And there they are together. So I'm going to go back to robot mode from this modes. It's quite easy. Well, not easy, but easier. Just because you're just undoing everything. But I'm going to show it anyway. So I just undo that, move that down, do this. Move this out. Try not to go too fast because it's easier to just go fast from alt mode to robot mode. You can move this down like this. You just, all this stuff, just go back to folding this up, fold that up, fold everything up that needs folding up. You can fold this up. Then that's folded up. Take the feet out like that, move it around. Then you can just fold all this stuff. All this stuff goes folded up. You can see where it tabs in at. Move this up here. Move this back down and push this in. That's pretty much it. Move this down and back. And there you go. Again over here. Move this out. Move this out. Like that, like that. Just keep that over here. Push this in. This will go in without you doing all that by mistake. So just make sure you push that in. Move it up like this. There we go, right there. Move this around. And it's a little peg right there that pegs in, that keeps all this together. Kind of almost pegs in automatically. You got to try a little bit to get it in, but if this stuff ain't coming out or falling out, you're good. Move this back. Flip it out. Pull this out. Push it up and then peg it back. You just move this out just so you can move the thigh back up so you don't forget. Then down. Pegs on that piece. Spin it around. Home stretch. Move that. Move this. Move it down all the way if you want. Peg that. This up. Unpeg this. Move this out like this. Move these back. In. Then move this up. Move this down. This will come off. It came off this like the second time it came off. It's just a mushroom peg, so it's not on grade either. Move this in, move this down. Move this in, move this down. This down here. Out, up, in. Out, hand up, hand in. Spin his head around. There you go. Yeah, his feet are loose. They do cause issues at times, but I mean, it's nothing too crazy. It's also this, my, my pad I like to use. All this stuff out of the way. Move this down. Move this down. I like to move this out, and you can move this down like this. Unpeg, unpeg from the sides. Move it out. Don't forget. Unpeg these guys. Again, you can push on here if you want to open that. Open that. Move this around here like this. Spin it around. It is on a ball joint, so just be careful. That little pole thing. Be good. Then spin this around. Move this. You gotta get it down so it's square right there, so you can move that in. Then just flip that, flip this, flip that. You can see it's kind of like a puzzle. It's a puzzle, just like all Transformers. Basically puzzle bots. Move this up here. And those two things plug in. So just get it lined up as best as possible. And then it plugs in. There you go. Here's over the same thing. Push it. Move this down so it's square. This up. Move this up. Move that. Move this. Get that flipped out. Around. Flip it back. It's up here. Legs are done. Now for this part, just get the wheels out the way of the arms. Flip this back down. I already moved the canopy up. Get this out of here. Flip this down here. You move the arms out. Well, you can move this up too. Move the arms out like this. Get over here, move the arms up. That. Up here. Push this down. Push the skirts down. So you can get that. Then move the wheels in there like that. Oh. Couldn't tell right there. I thought I lifted it up. I just lifted the arm up. But this has to be lifted all the way up. I thought it was. I couldn't figure out why that wheel wasn't fitting there. But now it's fine. And you can move this back down and put this down here. Tabs into the wheel and you see that little tabs into the wheel and in the front. Move his head around. Get this back to some type of position. Move this down here. Get this. These tabs right here. Getting right there. So you get that like that. It kind of keeps that together from flopping. Then just get the arms up, flip that around, and then just flip that around, tab it back. This does come off, which is kind of, you know, a flaw, but it doesn't come off super easy. You can see it just will come off when you manipulate it. Just a note. And you can get these a little bit better. And here we go with Scrapper. So please give me a like on this video if you enjoyed this video. Like helps me out a lot. I appreciate everybody that comes by and watches these videos. And I will get up with you in another one. Peace.
Ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.